I'm Joe DiMaggio for NJ Sports Now on this Friday, May the 15th, a Flashback Friday edition of NJ Sports Now. 74 years ago today, Joe DiMaggio began his 56-game hitting streak. Yes, it was 74 years ago, 1941. DiMaggio on this date began what I still believe is one of the most, if not the #1 most unbreakable record in all of sports. DiMaggio, 56-game hitting streak, something that will live on, I believe, for a very long time, if not forever, in the annals of baseball history. An amazing streak, so amazing that when you talk about baseball from that time, specifically that year, it's DiMaggio's hitting streak, not Ted Williams hitting 406, not the last player to hit over 400. That is the #1 story. That's how big what DiMaggio did, and it's one of the most impressive feats you'll ever see. And you think about now, could anyone do anything like that? And I was asked about that on Twitter and talking about the date 74 years ago, and I don't believe it can happen again. I'll give you a few reasons why DiMaggio's streak will live on for a very, very long time. #1, the game has changed so much with specialization of pitchers. Joe DiMaggio did not have to deal with, relief pitchers coming out in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, sometimes 3 different ones, throwing 98, 99, 100 miles an hour. It was a different game back then. And many times, DiMaggio would face the same pitcher late in the game. Could be tired, diminished stuff. It just was different. You didn't see relief pitching and bullpens the way they use now. I believe that would be a big detriment to anyone trying to get through a 56-game hitting streak, trying to work their way up that far. #2, the fact that now, more than back in the day, patience at the plate, walks, taking the first pitch, it's a different game. The hitters of today were raised on get on base anyway. Not get a hit anyway, but get on base anyway. And in many ways, that's the best way to go about offensive baseball, but it's not the best way to continue a hitting streak. If you're taking a walk every game or every other game, I think of a hitter like Joey Votto with the Reds. Tremendous offensive player. There's no way to me he'd ever come close to this because he takes so many walks. It just takes away chances to get a hit. And then the third reason, this goes with the pitching, and really not just the relief pitching, but the great relief pitching of today and the great starting pitching, is the rise of strikeouts. This is the most amazing statistic as I was thinking about DiMaggio's hitting streak and looking up some numbers. Throughout his entire 56-game hitting streak, Joe DiMaggio struck out a grand total of 5 times. 5 times in 56 games. Today you see very good hitters, not bad ones, very good ones, strike out 2 or 3 times in a game routinely. DiMaggio struck out 5 times over the course of 3 months. So he walked a little bit. He didn't strike out basically at all. That gave him 4 or 5 at-bats a night to make it happen, to get that hit. Those things wouldn't happen today. You could also factor in this was before integration in baseball. So was DiMaggio facing all of the best? No, it's impossible to say he was. I mean, you think about it. Since DiMaggio had his hitting streak in 1941, only one player, that'd be Pete Rose, the all-time hit king, has even cracked 40, has even gotten that close to 56. No one's cracked 50. Rose, the only one since DiMaggio to crack 40. Paul Molitor got into the high 30s with 39. So it's, great hitters, 3,000, 4,000 plus hitters that we've seen over the years, from Derek Jeter to Eddie Murray. So many of them have not done this. Tony Gwynn never did this. Cal Ripken never did this. Some of the all-time great hitters, Ichiro Suzuki, who was the kind of player that probably could have done it in his prime, couldn't do it. DiMaggio, 74 years ago, began the streak, and it still stands. And I believe it will stand for a very long time as we look back to the start of what was one of the most amazing achievements in baseball history. The more you think about it as the years go on, there's a really good chance it will always stand. It will always be Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak. I'm Joe DiMaggio for NJ Sports.